just exercising my manly, lean body. 3 kilograms, that. 3 kilograms. You know, whatever. No big deal. Fucking assholes. You're going to give me one of them... oh, if any, that doesn't make sense to anyone. Should have joined the stream last night. It was awful. They were horrible to me. I wasn't even supposed to be on. I was supposed to be the little guy that pops up in the little thumbnail now and again just going, hey, yeah, we've had a tweet from Joe. He called you a dick. And then I'm away. And he's like, no. You didn't even tell me. You're going to be there the whole show on display, no breaks. Oh, and by the way, the whole show is just about how fat you are. It's ridiculous. Made me happy though. It did make me happy. Oh, let me just check really quickly that we are on air because we had a few problems there. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, we're there. Thank God for that. Right, I'm gonna do a couple of stories today because I've got a lot to catch up on. And the first one is Brexit. Obviously, Boris's deal and all that nonsense. Everyone's dead happy about it, but there's already talk of attaching a second referendum to it, which has lost, like, what is it, 4 times now? They're like, yeah, but we want a second referendum. No, you want to cancel Brexit. Stop lying. You don't want a second referendum just to put the country at ease, do you? Because if you wanted to put the country at ease, you would have done your job the last 3 years and actually got some sort of reasonable deal through. But no, we want a second referendum. But yeah, the vote's tomorrow. I don't know how it's going to go. Nobody knows how it's going to go. It's going to be crazy, man. There's no... It's going to be... You can't predict it. It's so tight. The votes have been getting tighter and tighter. Nothing's gone through apart from the Ben Act. But these ones were getting really, really close. Even May's deal was getting there 3rd time it went around. So yeah, who knows what's going to happen? And if the deal goes through, who knows if that'll even be a good thing? Who knows? Because there's so much about it that's still up in the air. We don't know. But I do have a special shout out for Labour MP Kris Bryant. This is brilliant.
I make no argument against us sitting on Saturday, but it is very inconvenient for many people who have families.
Oh, is it inconvenient, mate? Is it? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Unfortunately, the nursery is not able to be open to make sure that there's childcare provided for honourable members.
That's the woke corner, by the way. The Labour Party. If you ever see them from those seats there, hardly anyone's in there because, we desperately needed to cancel that prorogation. This thing, where are they? Where are they? Get to work. This is why you're having to go in on a Saturday. But this is the woke corner. This is where you get all the pink hairs and they're all crying about, like, representation. Like that shit that happened with me last night, fat shaming. Oh, they wouldn't have liked that. Oh, well, apart from the fact that they'd just go, well, you're a white man.
Not be incumbent upon IPSA to make financial provisions so that the costs of childcare can at least be met for members.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The amount of damage that you've done to business by faffing about with Brexit. That little extension that you did end of March. Nah, we'll do Halloween or anything. That whole summer that people had to then make adjustments for outside of the money they've laid out. And bless him, 79 grand a year plus 50 grand in expenses or whatever the hell he gets. They get a lot of money in expenses. They get their rent paid for him for the second house in London. There's already a nursery there that they can drop the kids in. Do you know how few people have got that sort of luxury? There's not a lot. And bless him, he actually stands up there. It is on the record now of him going, well, I'm coming on Saturday, but can I get paid though for it, please? Proper man of the people, that. Proper Labour, innit? Hey, redistributing wealth there, aren't you? Taking our taxes. It's not enough you're on 80 grand a year, is it, mate? Just to make arrangements on a single Saturday. You know, the fourth one in 70 years or whatever. Oh, no, yeah, 3 Saturdays. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. If you can't make these kind of arrangements, you corrupt, money-hungry scumbag, then no wonder you can't get Brexit through. Yeah, I'm going to need a bit of cash for my kid. Fuck off. Fuck off. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, what were they going to do on Saturday? Were they going to go see family? Can your wife not do it? Can a friend not do it? Is it so bad that you have to rinse the public purse just a tiny bit more? Just a tiny bit more? Scumbag. Scumbag. Let's hear that bit again. Wait. Listen.
There's childcare provided for honourable members. Would it not be incumbent upon IPSA to make financial provisions so that the costs of childcare can at least be met for members?
Look at him in the background. Look at him there. Wait. Oh, no.
The costs of childcare
What's his
can
face?
at least be met.
Look at him. He just goes. Because he knows. He's like, shit. I'm in the background here. You got the woke women going, oh yes, of course. They're so insanely privileged, aren't they? But ever the victims, especially the Labour lot, especially Labour. Unbelievable. Right, check this out, guys. Hayden sent me this morning as part of his usual relentless drive to trigger me. And Manchester City Council have been urged to reject a statue of the anti-black racist Gandhi. they bless him. Hey, they've put that in quotes this time, haven't they? They're almost... This is what the Guardian do. They'll put it in quotes for a bit, for a year or two, and then they'll just be like, and then they'll say, Gandhi, who was associated with anti-black racism campaigns, and they're just like, yeah, because you said it over and over. You said it. But anyway, yeah. Students, well, I think we found out yesterday that maybe they're not always the best people to go to on stuff like this. Say remarks by Indian freedom fighter mean proposed sculpture would be an insult. Yeah, guys, woke people. If there's any woke people watching this, I know that your wokeness is just another version of white supremacy. I know that you think that white people are better, and I know that you think that all BAME people are just tiny little things down there, aren't they? Bless them, eh? Bless them. They're like children, aren't they? With their coloured skin down there, they need protecting and taking care of, don't they? Hey, you're so woke and you're so good, and it's great that you're an ally to minorities, but I've got something really terrible to tell you, okay? They're human beings. They're just like you. They're just as vulnerable. They're just as flawed. And I'll tell you another thing about dark-skinned people. They fucking hate each other. It's not just white people some of whom dislike black people, you know. It happens. It happens a lot. Like I've told you, most of my neighbours are from Iraq, and they all hate each other. Some of them are Kurds, some of them are Arabs. They fucking hate each other. So, although you like to quite, in a bigoted manner, just put all BAME people. You say BAME now, don't you? Because you don't want to say coloured anymore. But what you want to do is you want to put them all in a basket, all the non-whites, because that's what BAME means. It means people who are not white. Black and minority effort. It's just a black Asian minority effort, or black and minority effort, depending on who's saying it. It's just your way of saying not white people, not the good ones, not the strong ones. Yeah, that's what you fucking think, don't you? Because you woke, which means you're a white supremacist without the balls to admit it. You actually think you're better than these people. And now you're taking Gandhi, who, yes, was a flawed individual, did say some racist shit, didn't much like Africans either. But you know what he also did? He is the symbol of Indian liberation. He is a symbol of peaceful protest. You know, these fucking people, man, going around with Che shirts on. Che Guevara. Oh, yes. Fight the power. That dude was killing gays all over the place. You just lose it there, don't you? You found out that the brown guy didn't like black people. And it's like, and so what if he didn't? So what if he didn't? That's not what Gandhi represents. Gandhi represents what it is that you're supposed to be about, what you preach all the time. Non-violent protest, working, sticking by your principles, leading by example. But then again, principles isn't really something that comes across your mind, is it? Because you just have selective wokeness. Yes, almost every figure in human history who is now put on a pedestal had flaws. America's founders had slaves, and yet they wrote documents that enabled the ending of slavery, enabled the most free country on the planet. I'm sorry, right, but this isn't Teen Titans. This isn't some Marvel comic. This isn't Squirrel Girl. People have flaws. Gandhi had phenomenal flaws, but maybe those flaws are the reason he rose to such greatness. Maybe the people who do have a darkness within them, who have faced adversity, who have actually had real challenges and disgusting thoughts and darkness to them, they're the ones who really do change the world. Not try and get art pulled down. Not try and burn books. Not try and get everything frigging deleted. Just because it doesn't fit your hypocritical, racist, woke standards. Jesus Christ, you are awful. Awful. I love it as well. The fucking Guardian. You know, this is in the news section, by the way. The news section. Check this opening line. Manchester City Council should reject a statue of the Indian independence leader Mahatma Gandhi on account of his well-documented anti-black racism, according to students. This is opinion. That's not how you write news. This isn't how you do it. Why don't you actually have quotes from him? Why don't you actually tell me, first and foremost, what is going on? Not just straight away lead it, Manchester City Council. There's no quotes here. And people don't read past it. The planned 2.7 metre bronze statue is about to be erected outside Manchester Cathedral in November to coincide with the 150th anniversary of his birth. An open letter is calling for them for his vile comments, and who cares what he said 150 years ago? Who cares? Look, I know you're trying to destroy everything. You know, hey, we did a great job getting rid of Christianity. Hey, it's pretty much died out in this country now, hasn't it? We did a great job we just sort of pushed all the big stories and all the hope and all these false things. Yes, he's not perfect. We've got rid of them all, and what have we replaced it with? Gluing our tits to a train. These people need Jesus, man. They do. I got into an argument with someone on Friday about this. Because he's like, well, do you believe in God? I was like, no, I don't. And he's like, oh, cool, so you're too good for it, but they're not. And I'm like, no, but people as a group need something. And there's nothing wrong with having a hero. And after 150 years, there's nothing wrong with just putting him on a thing and thinking, yeah, do you know what? That's turning the other cheek. That's being a good person. You absolute freaks. Bookscore has said The Guardian says it all recently. Yeah, I know. Dominic has said afternoon, Graham. Afternoon. And John has said afternoon, Sir Booth of Manchester. Thank you very much. But yeah, these scumbags. The thing about this is, you know, it's none of their business. If Manchester Cathedral want to put up a statue, it's none of their business. They should have the freedom and the ability to do exactly that, whatever they want. But the problem with these activists is it's relentless. And they'll complain and do open letters and try and smear you with like, well, you're racist, anti, blah, blah, blah. And they'll just smear everything in sight. And 99 times, nothing will come of it. But then the 100th time, something does. And they're pulling down statues, painting over art, literally getting rid of poems, taking books out of places, stopping you accessing the actual history which is dark. We need to know the bad things to know how good it is now. But you know what? That's the other thing to these communists. They don't want you to know how good things are now. They don't want you to fully realise this is the best time to ever have been alive as a human being. It is fucking phenomenal. And if they make you forget the giant shoulders that you're standing on, then they can convince you that, you know, we're in the late days of capitalism. You know, it's all failing, it's all going, and it's not. Look at India as an example, man. Middle class just went boom there. Fucking boom. This whole thing with PewDiePie. You know why the whole thing with PewDiePie is now the second biggest YouTuber? You know why? It's because the entirety of India pretty much just got the internet. They've all got smartphones now. They're connected to the internet. But these smug cunts here doing... Oh, God, I was trying not to swear. These smug cunts doing this open letter on Google Docs. Yeah? They don't even realise how it is for those people. They've no idea. Because to them, they can just do a Google Docs. They can just... Yes, let's just crowdsource the removal of art, shall we? But they don't realise that these people have only just got the frigging internet in any meaningful manner. And I don't mean the internet existed in India, of course it is. I'm talking about the 6 people who were sharing a bed, whole families living in one big house, which was kind of cool actually. I visited one of them and it was really nice. It was nice. They all took turns. There was a good side to it. But let's not get lost on that right now. Right, I'm going to move on anyway. I'm going to move on because fuck these people. Fuck them up the arse. But you know what? Keep talking about it. Keep talking about what censorious, disgraceful pricks they are. Because they've lost the economic argument. So they're trying to destroy everything. And, you know, I get in arguments, not in arguments, but we had a debate with it. I had a debate with Aidan about that off air, you know, the whole thing of cultural Marxism. And he's like, well, it's an anti-Semitic trope. And it's like, well, yeah, it is for some people, but it's also something that does exist. So what are you going to do? You know, are you not going to discuss Brexit because some people are racist who voted for it? No, you talk about Brexit and you talk about whatever. Sod the racists. You know, it's just... Are you not going to talk about free speech because some racist people are hiding behind it? Some destructive Nazis are hiding behind free speech? Are you just going to abandon that as well? No. And it's the same with this, man. There is the long march through the institutions. It's very, very well documented at this point. Right! I want to talk about this guy. I want to give him a shout out, man, because I'm not a fan of Piers Morgan. I don't watch GMB. I take my daughter to school and then I'm busy watching Richie Allen. I like watching Richie Allen in the morning. You know what? I don't listen to his radio show as much as I do watch his morning. I love his meltdown in the morning. Right, yeah, fucking... We need socialism! What he was hammering on about. The government chucking 200 million at that travel company to save him. Piss off, Richie, you lunatic. The government's got no business having a 1/6 stake in a dying travel agency. You absolute freak, idiot! Do you know what then happened? An actual travel agency has bought it out now. An actual successful travel agency. Which do you want? Do you want an actual financially successful travel agency to step in, or the government who can't even pick me bins up? Fucking hell, Richie. But anyway, I don't watch Good Morning Britain. But I've been seeing the odd Piers Morgan clip on YouTube. I can't help but look it up. I can't. Because his trolling has been phenomenal lately. You know, when he got a tranny on the other day who said that she doesn't herself now identify as transgender because the activists themselves, you know, are just so toxic, and the activists no, and it's all spiraled up, and it's true, man. It's true. Trans activists have done more harm in the last 3 or 4 years than any rights. It's just insane, man. Nobody cared about trannies before this. Now everyone's got a frigging opinion about it. And now we've got the whole TERF movement where trannies are just openly beating up women. Men in dresses kicking the crap out of women. And people are going, oh, they're very brave, aren't they? Standing up to the TERFs. Well done, well done. But yeah, Piers at the moment, there was a big petition to fire him. And then another petition that was doubled to keep him there. And then there was a Twitter poll. Should he stay or should he go? Which I don't think a lot of people realised wasn't a real poll. They weren't deciding his fate at this point. It's just marketing. And there's two things I want to say about Piers. The first thing is he's phenomenally good for that program. He sits next to what's his name, who's super woke, and they've got different points of view. And lo and behold, we do need that on TV. You know, that's what we want. If you're going to get someone from Extinction Rebellion on, you don't want someone sat there going, "Oh, really? Yes. Well, you're very brave. What do you think, Piers?" I think they're very brave. Okay, well, you have fun closing down the transport network across the entire country. Bye. And then next up, it's like, aren't flowers pretty? No, he's a journalist. He's a good journalist. You might not like him. I don't particularly like him, but he is good at his job. It's his job to do that. The problem is, he's doing it to people you don't like, so you hate him. But no, Piers Morgan is probably one of the best possible people in the country for that exact job right now. And the fact that people hate him, it only demonstrates that further. Jesus Christ. They just don't get it, do they? And the other thing that he pointed out was he was the top trending TV presenter on the planet for like 2 days or something. The top 2 trends on Twitter anywhere, because all the woke Americans got hold of him and were doing the poll. Let's make sure he loses. Then he'll be sorry. But as he pointed out phenomenally, they made him the most famous breakfast presenter on the planet. And he reckons he's getting a pay rise on the back of it. So he gets my mad lad of the week, man. I like that. Big shout out for Piers. A good job, man. Good job. Keep trolling him. Keep mixing it up, because you know what? These things need to be said. Of course they do. Dominic has said it's like Twitter, do your thing, which can end up with people losing their jobs, which is cuntish. Well, this is the thing about him, isn't it? They're trying to do the same thing to Piers that they do to other people. I saw some guy the other day got fired from an oil rig, and woke people were literally spamming him. I searched his tag. They were sending him endless messages about how happy they were that he wouldn't be able to feed his family and all that. These people are disgusting. They're not just white supremacists. They're evil. They're pure evil. And they'll sit back and go, why can't we just care about each other? Why can't? But they're not. They're evil people. But they're also cowards. And they can't. The reason that, you know, because we all get darkness within us. We all have bad thoughts. We all have bad urges. But you need the courage to just open up to those things and be like, yeah, no, is there. What they do is they take the dark sides of them, which every human being has got, and they sort of push it into this weird lens where they're the good guys. And the fact that I hate this other person so much, like deeply hate to the point where I'll get him fired. That's not me enacting my immaturity. That's not me enacting my emotional retardation. No. This is me being one of the good guys. Fucking idiots. And good for Piers, because he's in a position where he can take advantage of it. The same way that Jordan Peterson pointed out. You know, he can do a talk and it'll go well, and that's amazing. I mean, it's not the case now, but when he was first coming up, but he said the best thing that can happen for his talks, and he didn't realise this when he started, but the best thing that can happen is that it gets protested and shut down. Because then the next 5 sell out instantly. Because people go like this. And that's kind of, you know, he's kind of playing the same thing. And I like that. I do like that. Right. Last up. You're going to like this one. I asked thousands of biologists when life begins. The answer wasn't popular. Steve Jacobs. Now, Steve Jacobs asked 5,577 biologists if life begins at fertilization. The idea behind that being that's when new DNA is created. So, strictly speaking, if you're going to draw a line, is that it? When you've got new DNA, you've got a separate organism. Dependent, but separate. 96% said yes. Now, if we're going to go by these people, stop abortions. I thought they were all about the scientific consensus. Aren't they gluing the tits to the walls and spraying blood all over the Treasury because of scientific consensus? So why are they not all pro-choice? It's almost as if they are phenomenal hypocrites and none of this has actually got anything to do with the environment. Almost. We just lost a few viewers there. Fuck you! This isn't a pro-life rant. This is bringing an interesting perspective, the hope being anyway. But if someone wants to close off, that's fine. Bye, that's okay. Go have fun not thinking. The point here, the interesting point here, is that most of these scientists are liberal. But they say, no, yeah. Life begins at conception. Of course it does. And I agree with that. But that doesn't mean you can't be pro-choice or pro-life. That doesn't mean there's not arguments one way or the other. The really annoying thing with me, especially in America, phenomenally so in America, is this it's either conception, which is scientifically accurate, actually. So everything past that is your feels, is your emotional whatever. And that's true. That's totally fine. Yeah. Our minister just said I'm okay with ending people's lives, and that's kind of the point, isn't it? And I really wish the whole thing with abortion would be more honest, because you've got conception, and then you've got, like, what was it, 20% of American left think that it's birth, and some of them, there's a crossover with these fucking people here that are out in the street going, respect women, her body, her choice. And it's like, birth? Take the first breath? Really? Not even a week before. Not even 2 weeks before. Because the scientific consensus, the science, the truth, which you keep holding up, believe scientists when they agree with me. It's all the way the other side there, isn't it? 9 months earlier. So I genuine question. If you're still watching at this point, let me know in the comments if you could comment on the. Can you comment on the video when it's live? Because I want to see this as a discussion rather than something that disappears on the chat. Or just come back if you can later on and comment on me. Where's the line? How many weeks? And why? I really want to know this, man. Because I can't find an answer to this question. I'm easy on like 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Yeah, a little blibbity blobbly. It's like blowing your nose at 2 weeks, isn't it? There's nothing there. A month? Yeah, sure. Month, whatever. Little nubby arms or whatever. And you have to think of the reality, financial reality, don't you? What about 5 months? Is 5 months all right? They can hear you at that point. It's a weird one for me. I don't get the line. Aiden said when Aiden had a good point with it, of it's when they're viable outside the body. But then that is saying that if you're rich, there's more chance your kid will survive outside your body. So Hayden, like a good socialist, shitting on the poor, different rules for the poor. That's what they do, don't they? Alan said, "Nah, life begins when the system turns you into a number, and you end up watching Trigger Warning for a bit of comedy." It's just interesting, though, isn't it? It's interesting. 96% of scientists agree that it begins at fertilization. So what are we going to do with that information, eh? When are we going to have abortion rebellion? Hey, man, just tell the truth. Listen to the scientists. I find it phenomenally interesting. And I also find it like, fuck you, fat belly. What's happened to me, huh? Has it been like that the whole show? I moved that as well, by the way. You happy? You fucking happy? I'm having to move it. You're giving me a thing. I'm having to move it now. I'm not playing on it. Just moving it endlessly. Just to make you happy. Right. I'm going to boo you. I might. See if we go live tomorrow. I don't know. See if I can get rid of my family. I'm not sure yet. But guys, if I can't, have a good weekend. Have a fantastic weekend, eh? Please, for me. Fuck off, man. With me green. There's nothing. I'm not wearing green for that. I just like green. I'm not even fat. I'm not even. Look at this. 3 kilograms. That. Look at that. No problem. No problem. I do it in that hand as well. No problem. But no, guys. Have a great weekend, please. And I'll see you on Monday for my little freaking out after the weekend stream. And then, what the fuck is this? And then I'll be back Tuesday with Aiden. And then we better be back in the studio on Thursday. I'm going to be so annoyed if we're not. So very annoyed. I like it in there. We can have a good shout without neighbours calling child services on me. Anyway, I love you. Bye-bye. Mwah.